Welcome, all you beautiful souls, to your weekly energy update. And we're going to be looking at the week of June 26th through July 3rd. Has some interesting things that are happening this week astrologically, actually starting on the 26th all the way up to like July 1st. The god of war, Mars, is going to be having this interesting kind of energetic dance with Pluto. So you got the god of war and Pluto, which is kind of the destroyer of things. It's like the challenging kind of energy of that planet. And they're both going to be interacting with each other during those 4 or 5 days. So really be aware that there's going to be some it's almost like you can smell gas in the air and you're like, don't light any matches because it's going to go boom. So just walk gently with others and just kind of carefully walk around. Don't have to walk on eggshells, but just be aware on, do I need to say things that way or do I need to say that at all? And wait for this week to kind of go by before you bring up any kind of volatile subjects. Because we also have on June 28th, the new moon in Cancer. Cancer is a very emotional, energy. It is attached to the moon. So, because Cancer is ruled by the moon, so you've got all this strong emotional energy that is happening. Not so much like a full moon, but a new moon is about new things, new emotions coming in. So you've got that mother, that nurturing energy, that emotional energy that's interacting as well, starting on June 28th, planting new seeds for new emotions, new ways of looking at things too. We also have the Neptune, planet of Neptune, on June 28th, the same day as the new moon, going fully retrograde. We've been in the pre-shadow of it since March 22nd. So you've already started to feel this energy of the Neptune retrograde, which is about like the stripping away of illusions or any kind of realities or any kind of small t truths that could have clouded our vision and keeping us from having clarity. So as this started in March 22nd, like some beliefs, some ways of seeing things have started to be challenged, but now we're going to go full bloom from June 28th all the way through December 3rd in having like this review of what we believe about things. Especially Neptune has to do a lot with our spirituality, our awareness of that kind of dreamy type world as well. And get used to that emotion and that feeling as we revisit that, because we actually it goes direct on December 3rd, but then we go into the post shadow of that, which means that we kind of have a review of the things that we wanted to change all the way up until like March 10th, which is very interesting because Neptune, we start to go kind of head forward, but then we kind of start going to a halt and drifting backward again because we go back in to retrograde June 30th of next year, and we stay in that all the way until December 24th of next year, the 2023, and we'll be in the post shadow of that all the way until March 27th of 2024. So this challenging of looking at the way we see things is going to be a huge theme for the next, year and a half, right? So just get used to it. Once we understand that this is the energy that's out there, then we can deal with it differently because we know why it's happening. We don't feel as out of water, which makes sense with everything going on in the world, with all these truths that are coming out around political things and, everything everywhere. All of us have been having like this challenge of what do I believe? Because we're hearing different stories from all over the place, and it really starts having you wonder, what is truth? All these capital T truths of the heavenly realm, we're wanting to grasp for that because all the small t truths of the human world seem to be fluctuating and flying all over the place and even contradicting each other. So there is this call for a capital T truth that's so much more. I always say that the small t truths are those that are rooted in the conditional love of the human side, but the capital T truths of the heavenly realm are those that are rooted in unconditional love. So we're going to be having this little fluctuation and this pointing towards ourselves to find out what within our soul do we believe, instead of listening to the popular opinion of the humans and the outside world. So we're going to dive in to your weekly reading just to see what is going to be coming about from this sparking of energy and see what the Creator wants you to know. So we'll jump into your sign right now. All right, Virgos, this is your weekly energy update, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. And any of the cards I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below. We'll give these a good shuffle, and then we will dive right in. All right, so for our Virgos, what energy do you want them to know about? What is this Neptune retrograde clarity bringing? Where do you feel Virgos could use clarity, or what would you like them to know about this clarity? Okay, that one right there. And you've got the deep quiet, meditation and stillness, master number 11. Beautiful, beautiful, perfect card here. This brilliant purples, crown chakra energy connecting to the higher realms. So you definitely are having this clarity come in. And it does talk about, like it says, meditation and stillness. And this does say clarity on here too. So, perfect clarity. So when deep quiet appears, it is a message from the cosmos calling you to stillness, to step outside the concerns of your everyday life. This doesn't mean to slow down and take a breath, although that is a good start. The cosmos is inviting you to go deep to that place where the noise stops and there is only the vast emptiness of inner space. When we don't respond to the invitation offered by the deep quiet, life can stop us in our tracks with an illness or a crisis. Listen to the still small voice. Remember that you want to catch spirit on a whisper, not a shout. I know I can personally relate to that. And it is only human to argue that you are too busy to slow down, that you don't have the time, the inclination, or the money for a retreat. Do not let any of these reasons get the better of you. Stop the world and enter the deep quiet before you come to a crashing halt. After you have said yes to this invitation, you will find that the world can get along quite well without the need for you to manage it. You will enjoy the freedom that comes with stillness, the clarity and spaciousness offered by the silence. Yeah, so they are inviting you for this period, especially for this week, to really, it's kind of like that hermit energy, which is actually the Virgo sign in the major arcana, to step away, to make sure that you don't have to become this monk, away from everyone and everything, but it is definitely this emphasis on taking time to yourself and get into that still quietness, because that is where you're going to be getting that clarity. We, of course, will dig deeper here and we'll pull from these tarot. Let's see what else they have to say. All right, so what else for our Virgos? Okay, that one there. And I do want that one there. Whoop. What else? That one there. These two. Okay, and this one here. Got these three and these three. Let's make some space here. All right, so we'll start with this one right here, which is the Judgment card. Card number 20, X and X, endings and new beginnings. And of course, this is not about you being judged, but this is about the realization that you are so much more than your human side, that normally there's an angel up here and there's people down below. in their coffins, which is the human side. And it's like they're waking up to who they really are. So this definitely is this calling. And I love that in relation to this, that's like this trumpet, that's your higher self getting your attention. And so you definitely are getting this invitation to connect with your higher self, with the higher spiritual realms. And like it said here, answer when they're whispering to you, rather than the shout, which is what a great way to explain that. Because they start off whispering, saying, hey, contact me. Hey, talk to us. Hey, but it's for our own good. It's never a punishment that things happen. But we did decide, and we even put it in place before we came down here. It's like, start getting my attention here and get louder and louder and louder. And if by this time I don't, get off my bohiney and connect with you, then have this thing happen to where it forces me to. And so when anything like that happens to us, it's not a punishment from them. It's a prearranged agreement on kind of like, wake me up in the morning, and if I don't respond to your texts, and you calling me, and you coming over to my house and knocking on my door and coming into my room and trying to shake me awake, if I don't wake up with all that cold bucket of ice water, that is what will happen. And so that's what they do. And they're like, at first you're like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, that's right. Thank you for doing that, because this meeting I need to go to is so important, right? And then you have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups are your emotions, and 6 is like the nostalgia card, and it is about looking back over your past emotional memories. It is this movement from one way of thinking about it to moving to another, and it is quite healing. And during this clarity process, this basically is saying that as you connect to your higher self and you become aware of that unconditional love, you become aware of these two sides of your life, the two of you that are living this human experience. You have that human character of yours that is this avatar. It's in reactionary mode. It's the fight or flight. It's always trying to live up to the conditional love, but it fears losing that conditional love. And so that's the aspect that it's in. Then you have the higher self, which is the unconditional love of the creator of all things, and that entire posse of huge group of individuals of love and light on the other side that love us unconditionally. No conditions, not even one. Just takes one to become conditional. So no conditions. It's totally ours just because of who we are. Nothing we can do to gain it and nothing we can do to lose it. We have it all always. And so you have these two places that we make emotional choices from and our experiences come from. Well, when we look back at an experience and we're like, oh, wow, so this experience, was it of unconditional love or of the fear of losing conditional love? And we're like, it was an unpleasant experience for me, so it must have been the fear of losing conditional love. And when we look at that, one of the things we realize is that when our little human goes into that fear mode, that fight or flight mode, because the little one inside of us feels unsafe or out of control, it sounds the alarm. It activates the fight or flight mechanism. We feel the prick in our heart, and then suddenly we go out of our minds because the blood rushes from our brain to our arms and legs, doing everything in kind of this animalistic, reactionary way, trying to feel safe and in control again. And it'll do all sorts of things out of its mind, though. So it's not logical or emotionally mature, usually what they're doing. And so because it's that, we always say we're acting crazy. In a way, we're acting out of our logical minds, out of our emotionally mature minds. So when you look back at these situations, you see that whatever happened, that person's actions were not personal really toward me. They were just this animal. They went at it. It's like they turned into a werewolf and they couldn't control their animalistic, tendencies. So they attacked me. Well, it wasn't personal, right? Because when the full moon goes away and they turn back into their human self, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. What did I do that? Or maybe you don't even get to hear all that from them because they run off into the woods and you never see them again. But you start to see the situation differently. You start to see that person differently. And you start, of course, to see yourself differently as well. So you have this transformation that happens in how you're perceiving your emotional memories, and a lot of this revisiting and understanding of those old pains is coming during this quiet time. Yeah, because here's the Two of Cups. So, yep, Two of Cups, basically, with everything going on here, it really is this message of understanding that you have two places that you can choose every emotion, every moment. You have the power of choice. I get to choose what emotion I'm going to feel through this situation. Is it going to be of unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love? And I know sometimes it doesn't feel like we're making a choice, but it's because we were so conditioned and by that popular opinion on how you were supposed to feel when something happened, that it became your habit and it became your reaction. But this message is coming in as you're looking through these things, you're really becoming aware of the two sides of you. I mean, you've got this 20, which adds up to 2. You've got the two sides that we're talking about. And now you have the Two of Cups. I did start a series at the beginning of this year on YouTube. It's a free video series, and I'll have it linked in the description box below, and I'll have it at the end of the video and one of these corners to the playlist. But it's a free series. It's called You Times 2, which is all about getting to know the two of you that are living this human experience. So they're really nudging me with all of this to say, check that out if you feel that resonates with you, because this is about understanding your emotional choices. And then you have the Queen of Cups here. So emotions definitely are a theme going on here. And the Queen of Cups is amazing because not only does she roll the whole suit along with the king, but she rolls the water suit. All the queens also roll water, or they have a portion of water. So she's double water, and which allows you to understand your emotions, communicate with your emotions, but it allows you to trust your intuition and connect to the spiritual realm as well, which is we're talking about here, connecting to the higher place, communicating with that. And such an important piece of this is reaching out and doing that. And normally the queen and the king, they both hold the chalice, the Holy Grail, which is the unconditional love of the creator of all things. So you have this chalice, this Holy Grail is a huge theme of what you're drinking from to connect to the higher realms. Because when you're in the chaos of the human side, that fear, it's so noisy, you can't hear those whispers of spirit. But if you intentionally raise your vibration to that of spirit through focusing on unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, that's the frequency at which spirit speaks. And they can always hear us. But for us to hear more clearly from them, that is how we can do that. All right, and then we go on to this one here. You have the Nine of Cups. So 9 of Cups, the number 9 we talked about being the sign. It's the Hermit card number that I mentioned in the beginning about being Virgo, and this Hermit going inward. So all the 9s are about you moving inward to find whatever the card is about. And the card is, the 9 of Cups is about wish fulfillment, emotional wish fulfillment, feeling whole and complete from the inside. So you definitely, 4 out of the 6 cards so far are cups, and it's all about the emotion. So this definitely is a journey. And it makes sense with you connecting to the higher realms. We connect through the heart chakra to the higher realms. We connect through our heart and our emotions to feel the love from above. And that is just such the strong connection for you. I'm loving this. Now we'll see. Is this cups too? Oh no, but it's the 4 of Pentacles. And the 4 of Pentacles is your outside world. It does talk about your worth and how you're determining your worth as you interact with the outside world. And the 4s are a very stable number. Think of the 4s as like a solid table with 4 huge legs. that makes it a very solid place. And so you do have the stability in your worth that's coming into play here as you go through this journey, as you look into this retrograde of Neptune energy. And the big lesson that comes from the Four of Pentacles is when we look outside of ourselves for our worth into that external world, we usually look in three places, and those three places we feel unstable in because we look for our worth in relationships, but people change or pass away, so that does feel unstable, right? We also look for our worth in circumstances, whether it's a job or education or social status or something along those circumstances we get in, but we know situations never stay the same, so unstable. And then the last area we look is in things, which includes our bodies. So our bodies, our possessions, our bank accounts, but we know those things are unstable because things break down, deteriorate, are stolen or burned down. So the lesson of this is when we look outside of ourselves for our worth, we feel, if we even feel fulfilled at all, it's very temporary and very unstable. But the solid stableness comes in here is the love that we find from within. When we turn inward to all this love we're talking about, this unconditional love, that chalice, that holy grail, to define our worth, then that is eternal, that is stable because it's unconditional. Nothing we can do to gain it, nothing we can do to lose it. So that becomes the solid foundation of our worth and who we are. So a wonderful emotional journey here for you, sparking for this week. But the Neptune energy, like I said, the retrograde is going to be going on for like a year and a half or so, all the way up until, what did I say, March of 2024, end of March. So you're going to be having this fluctuation and this beautiful, beautiful journey. And it's totally worth it because it does bring you to this place of stability and emotional fulfillment. And I love that. And then your final card here, we're going to pull from the Gentle Creatures Wisdom deck and to see what the final message is that the Creator has for you, Virgos. So what's your final message for Virgo, please? Okay, I guess that's it. Oh, gosh. Quit. Quit resisting, right? And it's funny because it's deep quiet and quit. That's if you take an E out of quiet, you get quit, which is pretty interesting. Let's see what message comes with this. There are times when you have to walk away. Call it quits when you have truly given your all to something, but have gotten nothing in return. That reminds me of all that searching in the outside world, all that fulfillment that you're looking for out there. Just quit. This is an imbalance that you could not maintain. Look to those who are with you, not to those who fly away. Your true friends will point out when you have been throwing a tiny bucket on a raging flame. Quitting is sometimes the correct path, especially when you are the only one fighting. It can be a place where you recognize that your effort will be best put elsewhere. Martyring yourself for a cause is one thing. Flinging yourself into the fire alone is another. Pulling back to regroup is definitely something you need to consider. Perhaps you can save someone else later, but for now you must quit trying to be all things to others and simply focus on saving yourself. Throwing in the towel isn't always a bad thing. Yeah, so this, again, pointing you back to yourself, to this quiet time alone. So quit trying to be all things to all people on the outside and turn inward and upward for this quiet time. And it'll be such a beautiful, beautiful experience. So worth it, and you deserve it. You deserve this nurturing energy that you give everyone else. It's time for you to nurture yourself. So, loving this for you, Virgos. If you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign and a few other types of videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, also click the subscribe button, and that gives you access to the notification bell. When you go in there, if you click on the all option, then you'll be notified of all new videos that come out on this channel. And also doing those things helps spread the love, and it helps my channel grow in significant ways. Because when you like a video, share a video, comment on a video, subscribe to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so excited it wants to share these videos of this channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of that, I am very, very grateful for it. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, mighty Virgos, as you go through this amazing new adventure, please know every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And in the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.